Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you mother Canuckers to a special WWE Judgment Day preview right here on the best damn universe mode. I am the J-Dogg, and joining me as always, the man, the myth, the legend, JNW boss. How you doing, boss man?
I'm feeling good. I am feeling great. We are a mere 48 hours away from Judgment Day right here on pay-per-view. This is going to be a fantastic event. Buckle up for this one.
Yes, sir. Get ready, man. If you haven't ordered already, call your cable subscribers. Yes, we're back in 1995. Call your local cable subscribers or your streaming platform and get on, man. You'll get all the action of Judgment Day coming. It's going to be a big show, boss man. I am excited. And before we're going to go over to all the matches today. We're going to give our take here on the matches, what we think of the matches, maybe even who we think we're going to win here. We'll give our little predictions here as well. But first of all, boss, this just in, Stephanie McMahon will be addressing the WWE fans live at Judgment Day with the big announcement, man. What do you think it is? She giving me a raise? Is she giving your boy a raise, boss man?
I mean, she should be giving you a freaking pink slip and everything else, and checking your little Cash App account for all that money you be sending to Bailey. But I digress. Whatever. Yeah, you know I'm telling the truth. You know exactly that I'm telling the truth. Though, as far as what Stephanie has in mind for Judgment Day, beats me. We don't really see Stephanie show up too often around here on prime time, so best believe if she got the nerve to show up at Judgment Day, definitely going to be dropping the bombshell for sure.
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of things that have been kind of hush here, boss man, recently on WWE with Stephanie McMahon and other, people in power we're not able to name here. But Stephanie, I think, is going to shed some light on that. And I don't know what the big announcement's going to be and other stuff. But again, I hope I'm getting a raise. I hope you're going to get fired. And leave the legendary Bailey alone.
I would leave Bailey alone.
Leave her alone, please.
The problem is she keeps coming out here week after week, night after night, show up the show, sitting there acting like she's this great gift to women's wrestling, when she can't even beat Asuka. In fact, lost to Asuka 2 weeks in a row. Might add.
Cheating.
Cheating for what?
Asuka put her in, and not only I said it, but the legendary Bailey said it, and the referee told me in private. The referee told me in private that he was paid off by Asuka, that it was indeed an illegal choke. An illegal chokehold. He didn't tell you nothing. He did not tell you nothing like that. How do you know?
At all. I know a lot of things. I know.
You follow me around? You have a camera on me now at all times?
No, but I'm not that stupid. I mean, you are. That's a different story.
We are a few minutes into this. You better behave your damn self. You're not going to make it to the damn show. I'll tell you that. I will knock you out right here in studio.
Well, sure. Yeah, speaking of knocking people out.
Look at me the wrong way. Anyway. Let's get going here, man, before you continue to get on my nerves here and drive everybody away. First matchup, boss man, we're going to be looking at today, the WWE World Tag Team Championships. Your boys, the the new Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, defending those titles against the Street Profits. Boss man, we've seen this played out even from before Hogan and Cena won the titles. My question to you, can these guys, it seems like there's someone on the right page now, but sometimes they're not. What's going on, boss man? I'll tell you what, man, I'm getting a little tired. It was a little funny for a while. I'm getting a little tired of this Dr. Phil stuff with Hogan and Cena. Is this going to be the day? I think honestly the Street Profits beat him today. I'm just going to say straight up. What do you think, boss man?
I mean, the Street Profits, they got every chance in the world to beat Hogan and Cena, because you're right. Hogan and Cena has been going on an uphill, downhill. Will they split? Will they not split? Is Cena going to knock out Hogan? Is Hogan going to knock out Cena over the past couple of weeks? And I will admit, Hogan started all this nonsense when he got involved in Cena's business for the Intercontinental Championship against Bobby Roode. So let's be real. I think that's in part where it started.
Wait a minute. But be fair to Hogan, okay? John Cena was in the dumps after losing to Roman Reigns, after not being able to get the championship here at the beginning of this all the universe mode. And then Hulk Hogan was a friend to a person, and he was a friend to him. He helped him. He took him to therapy. He helped him out with his issues. And Hulk Hogan got John Cena back to where he is today. Because of Hulk Hogan, they have the WWE Tag Team Championship. Because of Hulk Hogan, John Cena was able to be in there and compete against Bobby Roode and conquer his demons, boss man.
I mean, I never doubted Hogan and his help for Cena. I never said that. Notice I said where it started. It started the moment Hogan stuck his nose into the IC Championship business of John Cena. That's where it started at. I didn't say Hogan and Cena haven't had success. I mean, the way they beat freaking New Day back in Your House, the success that they had against, freaking Primo and Evergo of all teams, Riddle and RVD of all teams, and then, of course, we can't forget SummerSlam and the work that they put in there to beat the Usos on what was home turf. They were on a home turf disadvantage, and Usos was on the freaking A game. So,
and what about to win the tag team titles, Bossman? In one night, they defeated the Mega Bucks, DiBiase and Andre, and then they went on to defeat the New Day, one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I said that they did beat the New Day, but I forgot. Right, they did also beat Andre and DiBiase on that same night. So you're absolutely right. So can they beat the Street Profits for the tag team championship? Fair question. Honestly,
it's funny because we talk about their up and down, and I'm like, yeah, I think they might. But now that I think about all the teams that they beat, and while they haven't been necessarily on the same page at all times, it seems like some way these two make it work, boss man. Some way they make it work. And I think it's because they're both egomaniacs and maybe they're just blending together. Maybe they see each other. Maybe it's a mirror there, boss man. And there's a certain type of appreciation between both of them.
I mean, there gotta be some type of appreciation between the two. I mean, you look at Hogan's resume, you look at Cena's resume, and you think about the fact that, hey, yeah, Cena was down in the dump for a bit. Thank goodness for Hogan for kind of pulling Cena out of that. But Cena might be seeing through a little bit of Hogan in his facade. And is it going to blow up at Judgment Day? We will find out. And speaking of things potentially blowing up. I'm sorry, I'm about to take your job here.
Oh, you
Speaking of things potentially blowing up. Yo, Drew, can you go ahead and snuff this rain out of King Booker before it gets started? Seriously. Please.
You couldn't help yourself to go and
speak
about King Booker.
I was
because every time. Yeah, I know you were. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a word in here. European Championship Tournament Finals, Drew McIntyre and King Booker. Before we go to that, I just quickly want to give props to the Street Profits because we did it. Street Profits defeated the Young Bucks 2 times here, man, on Primetime Wrestling. They're ready to go. They attacked John Cena. Hulk Hogan nowhere to be found there. To be fair, Cena told him to stay back. So that was recently there on Primetime Wrestling. We'll see what happens there. But boss man, European Championship, man, finally, we're going to crown a champion. We've had a great tournament where King Booker has advanced without breaking a damn sweat. How great is King Booker, boss man? How great. All hail King Booker!
No, we are not doing this. We are not doing this. We are not doing this. No, ladies and gentlemen. Let's break this tournament down. Let's break the tournament down for real. Let's be real. He was supposed to face Gorgeous George in the second round of this tournament. Then, conveniently, the night of, Gorgeous George somehow ended up with an accident at a nail salon, I believe the word was.
That's exactly. You got it right. You're finally reporting the facts instead of your conspiracy theories. Yes, he had an unfortunate accident.
How do you have an accident at the nail salon, of all places? How do you have an accident at the nail salon? It's beyond me. I think Booker T attacked him, but, whatever, can't confirm it or not.
How did you get to that? How did you get that? Nothing came out of that. Like, it was because they had personnel there that shouldn't have been working there. That person was fired. They've been taking care of that.
How did you have an injury that bad? How do you get an injury that bad in the nail salon? What, flipped on the wet floor side? What was it?
It was to his nail.
How did you get a nail? Okay. All right. I even gave you an out on that one. You could say,
Gorgeous George is a sensitive man. There was no wet floor. This isn't the NWA. This isn't that dumbass Samoa Joe slipping on slip water. This is a man who is a sensitive man in Gorgeous George who just got really, really injured. He had to go get surgery on his nail.
Over a hangnail. Is what you're telling me here.
It wasn't a hangnail. It was a deeper accident. I respect HIPAA laws, so I can't talk. I know because I talked to the Gorgeous one, but yeah, boss man.
How did you? Okay, you kind of broke it by saying he went to surgery, but whatever. He
went to surgery, but I'm not telling you what it was for.
Anyways, he went to. But you already said it was his nail, you goof. Anyways, he faced Ilya Dragunov, cheated to beat him. Let's tell the whole truth.
Well, he wasn't ready for Ilya. The caliber of king that he is. He allowed Ilya Dragunov to take the place of Gorgeous George because King Booker's a competitor. And he beat the hell out of Ilya. He beat the hell out of him. He went to greet him at the ramp. I told you that already.
He beat him up on the ramp. then the Brad Knuckles, then the Explode Turnbuckle. We did everything in the freaking power to beat him that night.
I didn't see none of that.
Drew, on the other hand, has actually had to go to battle with some people. For real. So, for all this talk about Booker and him being this, king and whatever, you're right. He had to have to lift a freaking sweat. And then, Drew kind of, no, I'm wrong. He did have to break a sweat. He had a match against Doink the Clown on primetime.
Oh, don't go into that.
He had a match at what? It was a match against Doink the Clown.
It was not Doink the Clown.
He was not ready.
We all know that was Drew McIntyre with his beard. He didn't even shave his beard off.
Hey, no, come on, bro. Hey, you seen Doink in the gym? Have you seen this man in the gym? This dude was ready for that match, okay? He was ready for Booker T that night. He was ready. He said, I refuse to be anybody's jester tonight. I am going to get bulk. I am going to be ready. I'm even going to dye my hair just to show y'all that I'm not playing game.
Are you lusting after Doink the Clown now in the gym?
I'm just saying what? I'm just saying you're being analytical. You're being, the reporter and all that stuff. I'm doing the same. I went to go get an interview with the man ahead of the match. Boom.
I'm a broadcast journalist. You are a fraud. That was Drew McIntyre. And he thought he got one over on King Booker. Maybe he did, because he took advantage of the kindness of King Booker of giving his court gesture, Doink the Clown, a match, an exhibition match. It was supposed to be a warm-up going into the tournament. Drew McIntyre went in there, conned King Booker, took advantage of his kind heart. But come Judgment Day, King Booker is going to be the new European Championship by slaying one Drew McIntyre, boss man.
Well, we're going to see if we can do that, given the wars that Drew's been a part of. So if the King's ready, Duke's up, homie.
And go ahead. Keep taking my job. Go ahead.
Yeah, bumping. Yeah. Freaking.
Go ahead.
Freaking here. You mentioned the Women's Championship scene earlier. Yeah, let's go in, get into that tag team matchup set for Judgment Day. Asuka and Awesome Kong set to take on Bailey.
You're right.
China,
Bailey should be there. You're damn right. Bailey should be there.
No, she shouldn't.
Absolutely,
she should.
Rhea
Ripley. Set to take on China and Rhea Ripley. If Awesome Kong and Asuka win, that means they get a shot at China for the Women's Championship. And honestly, I think rightfully so, given how China won the thing.
How is that fair? How is that fair?
It is.
How is it a triple threat match? You're going to be a tag team match. I mean, Rhea Ripley could get pinned here by Asuka, let's say, and then Awesome Kong gets rewarded and China gets punished for not even being pinned. This is unnecessary, boss man. This is they should have their attorneys. If I was China, I'd have my attorney.
Down. Let's at least tell the people how we got here. Go ahead, bro. Tell the people how we got here.
Well, we saw, man, going back to Saturday's main event, we were going to have a huge match with China and Awesome Kong going into primetime wrestling right after Saturday night's main event. China comes out. Awesome Kong attacks China at Saturday night's main event. So China, rightfully so, finds an enforcer in Rhea Ripley who comes out and makes sure that Awesome Kong is not cheating. So China defeats Awesome Kong on primetime wrestling. More than likely. The what?
Beats her with a sledgehammer more than likely.
Well, those are semantics. Nobody needs to know that. China retains against Awesome Kong, and after that, it has been week after week of Awesome Kong, and then Asuka sticking her nose where it doesn't belong because she feels that she should have a championship match because she was undefeated as ECW World Champion, Women's World Champion, and she hasn't been defeated either here now on WWE, so she feels she's undefeated. She should get a championship match. Both of them have been attacking poor China and Rhea Ripley, who've done nothing wrong here. And now they get rewarded for these attacks by getting this ludicrous match.
Well, I mean, hey, I think it's even killed if you ask me. I mean, say what you want to say about the attack or whatever. I think we're in an even killed situation. China and Rhea Ripley get the chance to knock out the contender in Awesome Kong and Asuka. Yeah,
absolutely. 2 for 1.
High reward. This is a high risk, high reward matchup. If China and Rhea win, boom, that's 2 contenders off the shopping block, and potentially China could be sitting pretty if she's just waiting for a contender.
You know what? That's a great point, and you're in the first one of this show and probably the last one.
Yeah,
good job, boss man.
But yeah, thank you.
It's gonna be one hell of a match, though. It's gonna be one hell of a match. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be one hell of a tag team match. I am looking forward to it. Don't know about the stipulation, but it should be exciting, boss man.
Oh yes, indeed. That's assuming Awesome Kong and Asuka can hopefully hold it together long enough. I mean, there's something in it for the both of them, so I hope they're ready to go. But let's
Right,
see.
they have
It
some
looks like they've
history.
been on the page. Yeah.
They got some history going back to ECW. This woman fought twice. Awesome Kong did defeat Awesome Kong. I mean, Asuka defeated Awesome Kong. So is Awesome Kong, does she have something to prove here? Is she going to turn on Asuka here? They better work together. If not, they're not going to get that title match.
Possibility. We'll see. If they're going to get the
about
title match at Judgment Day, let's see. Speaking of opportunities, okay, we have an opportunity to witness a classic, ladies and gents. An absolute classic. One of those, get your best friends and tell them, hey bro, we got something crazy in mind. It's Kenny Omega and Bret the Hitman Hart. Y'all, I'm ready for this. I've been waiting for this one since the moment it crossed the dock.
There are some matches that you just know, Bossman. You're like, this is it. We want to see this. This is going to be an instant classic, even before you get to this match. Sometimes that's used a lot, right? That's used sometimes a hyperbole match and get it up there and build it up as something that it's not once in a lifetime, the greatest wrestling match ever. But this just feels special just by seeing this. And this is crazy, boss. This was just announced 1 week ago, even though for several weeks this has gone back and forth with Bret the Hitman Hart. This all started Bret the Hitman Hart calling out Kenny Omega and actually giving him a chance to join him in the Hart Dungeon because he sees a lot of greatness in Kenny Omega, boss man. He thinks that Kenny Omega could even be greater than Bret the Hitman Hart. He could be the greatest of all time. He sees that much potential in Kenny. Kenny last week turned that down, gave him his answer, turned it down, instead countered with, hey, I'll see you at Judgment Day for a one-on-one match. Bret Hart accepted, and here we are.
And yes, and then you also got to add the element in there of the Young Bucks also being in Kenny's ear a bit. But Kenny having to kind of play two sides of the fence here. He probably sees where Bret's coming from, but also sees where the Young Bucks are coming from. And it doesn't help that Bret Hart has had some disparaging remarks to say about Kenny and his best friends in the Young Bucks in the Elite.
You know, Bret Hart doesn't bite his tongue, boss, but he says it how it is, and he thinks the world of Kenny and thinks of potential, so he thinks he should be in the dungeon working with him, getting tougher. But he basically called him soft. He basically said he jokes too much. Him and his friends, the Young Bucks, and others have made a mockery of this business that Bret the Hitman Hart takes very seriously. So who's right and who's wrong here, Bossman? Do you think Kenny Omega should have accepted that offer from the great Bret the Hitman Hart, or do you gain more by being in there one-on-one with Bret and beating him in a one-on-one match?
I think you gain more by beating one-on-one, especially if you got someone the likes of Kenny Omega who's so determined, so will-driven, and say, no, I'm the best dot machine. I am that guy. I am the man. So, I know somebody in NWA was there to be the man. You got to beat the man. Kenny Omega is literally about to walk that line at Judgment Day. If he does it, hopefully he earns Bret's respect. If he doesn't, then hopefully that offer's still on the table. Maybe. I don't know how Kenny's going to bounce back from that if he can't get the job.
I don't know, because you're right, man. He should have taken advantage of it when he had it, I think, because if he gets in there and Bret the Hitman Hart puts a whooping on Kenny Omega, is that offer, like you said, Kenny Omega might change his mind after he loses, but Bret the Hitman Hart might say, you know what, it's a little too late, and you know what, I was in there with you. You're not as good as I thought you were. That could be a case, too. So just a lot of interesting elements here playing out with Bret the Hitman Hart and Kenny. And just to go to Kenny Omega, man, these two guys, Bret the Hitman Hart earlier here in the universe, small boss man, he was a Intercontinental Champion, lost that to Dusty Rhodes, and after that has kind of been taking a step back, right? He's letting the British Bulldog and the Bulldogs do their thing, and Owen Hart competing in that European Championship. Bret Hart kind of waiting for his moment, and I guess he's been back watching Kenny Omega, and Omega came over here from ECW. We know the battles he had in ECW with one Adam Cole, man. That was fantastic. Put those guys on the map here, man. Then he comes to WWE, mostly been battling against the New Day, but he's won some tag team matches, undefeated still. Won those tag team matches, man. He looked great in that tables match at Saturday night's main event where he was the sole survivor there. And then he's beaten one-on-one Big E. He's fought the likes of like Jerry the King Lawler, but there is no test that he's had so far here in WWE like Bret the Hitman Hart. Don't let Bret Hart's absence fool you. Bret Hart could get it done in that ring.
Well, we can definitely get it done in the ring. That ain't even the question, though. The question is for Kenny if he can hang step for step with the likes of Bret Hart. And then the question is, well, what does it do for the confidence of Bret Hart if he gets beaten by the one guy that he said, should be in the dungeon?
Right.
So,
right. Right. What does that do for Bret Hart? That's interesting. What does that do when Kenny Omega wins this match? What does that do for Bret Hart in the future of the Hart Foundation?
Well, yeah, that's the future of the Hart Foundation, the future of
Whew.
Kenny Omega, a whole lot of physical one-upmanship between the two, and a whole lot of mental mind games. Speaking of mind games, that WWE Championship Triple Threat, Aleister Black, Seth Rollins, and The Rock. Especially with the addition of this seemingly new House of Black, things may just go from bad, gone from bad to worse for The Rock ever since Saturday Night Main Event.
Absolutely, man. Is the title there for the taking for one Aleister Black, boss man?
I mean, I think it's possible. I mean, we've seen how Aleister Black over the past couple of weeks laid out both The Rock, got Cross to laid out Seth, got Cross to take care of Rollins. They won the 3-on-2 handicap match against these guys.
Yeah.
Black has laid these guys out 6 ways to Sunday. They have not been able to get a proper hit in on this man. It's been bad. And then given how determined Seth is to get that championship back, shoot, he hasn't even been able to fully concentrate on The Rock because he's dealing with Aleister Black, and we know Seth is a hothead, so if Seth gets all hot-headed against Rock, he might turn around again with a black mass, and Black walks out the champion.
Hey, you talk about hotheads, The Rock could be too, man. You mess with The Rock, he comes back with that Rock, man. University of Miami Rock, man, coming out just wanting to lay the smackdown, talk some trash on people. So this has a lot of combustible elements, boss man. The Rock and Seth Rollins, to give a little history there. Their initial WWE Championship tournament. In that tournament, Seth Rollins defeated The Rock. Then The Rock, of course, went on to win the King of the Ring, went on to SummerSlam, defeated his cousin Roman Reigns for that WWE Championship. Then he defended it against Seth Rollins after Seth Rollins' great performance at SummerSlam, where he beat both DiBiase and Andre in one night, back-to-back. And so Seth Rollins gets that championship back, and what happens, boss man? They're Aleister Black. It looked like Seth Rollins had that match won at Saturday night's Minute when we were both there calling this. Seth Rollins hits that super curb stomp from the second rope. We think The Rock is done. We'll never know if The Rock could have kicked out, but Seth Rollins has a claim that he could have won that match. Aleister Black, the lights go out. Black comes in. Black master both these guys, setting this up, kind of forcing himself, muscling himself into the world title division. Of course, The Rock's not going to say no, and we get this triple threat. And talking about Aleister Black, man, he has looked great from his ECW days. He had some battles, some wars, especially with the likes of like Brock Lesnar for the title. He was so close to winning the ECW World Championship. Comes here now to WWE. He had a great match against Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam, where he defeated Bray Wyatt. And after that, the whole thing with the House of Black started with Aleister Black was supposed to come out and respond to Bray Wyatt's offer to join the family and the higher power. And all of a sudden, we get no answers, boss man. We just see Jake the Snake Roberts come out. Then we see the next week Aleister Black joining with the likes of Karrion Kross and Damian Priest forming the House of Black. Haven't heard from Bray Wyatt after that. We got the House of Black here. A lot of combustible elements. What's going to happen? Who do you got, boss man? Does Aleister Black take it here?
I mean, if push to come to shove, I think Aleister Black can easily walk out of here as champ. I mean, he busted these two up physically. And then you got to think, triple threat, no disqualification. We're stopping Cross and Priest from coming out here and putting in work. And same for Jake Roberts, too, on top of that, who's been kind of the mouthpiece on the side, but he's also laid out The Rock, too, the week after Saturday Night Main Event.
Absolutely, man. Anything could happen, but we've seen Roman Reigns attack The Rock, even though Roman Reigns is going to be busy tonight in our second half of this co-main event that we got going on. But The Rock, he's attacked The Rock before. Probably he ain't done with The Rock either. Is he going to come out of this match like a lot of combustible? What about Ted DiBiase? Does he want revenge against Rollins? Like so much going on in this triple threat match. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great triple threat match, man. I think it's going to be just 100 miles an hour here. These guys are going to try to tear each other apart. I got Aleister Black walking out with his boss. I think he's in the mine. You got Karrion Kross, who defeated, like I said, The Rock 1-on-1. And then they defeated them in this handicap match, and Jake taking out Seth Rollins with the DDT outside the ring. Like, they mentally have it over, and physically, they have the manpower as well. I think Aleister Black walks out of here the new World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, indeed. But I hope Rock and Seth are ready because Rock is probably in the most dangerous spot he can be at WWE champion. That is for absolute certain.
Yeah.
And speaking of dangerous, the most
Oh,
dangerous
boy.
structure in WWE return at Judgment Day. Roman Reigns, you did it to yourself, but you are locked inside Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker.
Roman, man. It started with Roman Reigns and The Undertaker at the King of the Ring, where Roman Reigns aligned himself then with his cousins, the Usos, forming the Roman Empire officially, and defeating The Undertaker for that vacated World Heavyweight Championship. And he was supposed to get a rematch, boss man. The Undertaker, because of the circumstances, was supposed to get a rematch at Money in the Bank. And then we saw one of the damnedest things we've seen here in Universe Mode, where The Undertaker was thrown off that semi-truck by Rikishi. What did you think when you saw that happen, boss man?
I mean, when I saw it, I wasn't fully in the booth yet, but I was, still watching it, and I was absolutely stunned. I was appalled. I was trying to figure out what in the world, what the game plan here. Why would Roman, the man who, got help from the Usos to beat The Undertaker? I was shocked that he didn't just go ahead and take it upon himself. Why didn't you just finish the job at King of the Ring? You know what I mean? You have the door was open right there. So the fact that he probably orchestrated and didn't finish the job at King of the Ring for Rikishi to do that was absolutely messed up. But then, of course, it's a freaking Undertaker. You really think you're going to keep him down like that? I doubt it. And then, of course, if Undertaker shows up, Kane is going to show up. Kane shows up. Again, we haven't seen Rikishi since. Right.
We have not, man. Kane took it upon himself to get some revenge at SummerSlam. It was Kane versus Rikishi. I mean, Rikishi, we haven't seen him ever since. I don't know if he's in the hospital or not yet. The Usos talked about it. And yeah, so look, Rikishi's out. The Usos didn't win the titles at SummerSlam, lost to Hogan and Cena. Then things start happening there, right? And then The Undertaker and Kane teamed. The Undertaker at SummerSlam made his return after Roman Reigns lost the championship in the main event of SummerSlam. He waits till after this dude loses the championship to make his return to add a little insult to injury here, but he doesn't complete. He could have completely taken out Roman Reigns. That's the key here. He could have completely taken out Roman Reigns. Was in a fight. I mean, that match was over 30 minutes. They were brutal, him and The Rock. Roman Reigns was in no shape to fight anybody after that. The Undertaker comes in, stares him down, gives him a tombstone, and that's it. The Undertaker could have finished him off there, but The Undertaker, after what happened, he's looking for slow revenge, right? He's looking for torture. He's trying to torture Roman Reigns, and he said it in these promos. He said it leading up to Saturday night's main event when him and Kane teamed up, took out the Usos. So they took out Rikishi, took out the Usos. Then he told Roman, "Hey, I'm gonna take your body, your mind, your soul. I'm gonna torture you, and then finally a Hell in the Cell. Basically, I'm gonna put you in your grave and end you." So
and then.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, but then, of course, leave it to Roman to throw a whole monkey wrench in the game plan. What we just saw in prime time with freaking Bronson Reed jumping The Undertaker and then stuffing him inside of a casket? You freaking kidding me? Roman, yes, that's the problem. That's the problem I got with Roman. He's great. On his own, he's great. But then he got this mind about him that makes him an absolute disgusting human being that honestly makes him a bit of a menace here. Because how in the world? No. Because how in the world are you going to set up? You're going to ally with your cousin to beat this man at King of the Ring. You set up your I don't know what Rikishi would be to Roman, but you set up another relative to toss Undertaker off a truck. You don't have a way to deal with Kane because Kane starts handling business. But then on the final week, mere 3 days before you got a battle with this man inside Hell in a Cell, you set up an absolute ambush by having Bronson Reed attack Undertaker. And then Roman pretty much stuffed Undertaker inside of that casket to close out the show. And the message and the warning to The Undertaker that He's gonna beat him inside Hell in a Cell. He pretty much used that night as a preview of what he plans on doing inside Hell in a Cell. This is gonna get brutal. It's gonna get violent between these two. In my sadistic way, I'm looking forward to it. But
yes, you are. Yes, you are. But Go ahead.
No, but I hope Roman is ready. I hope Roman knows that if Undertaker wasn't already about to be ready to beat this man senseless, or that stunt that he pulled on prime time, shoot, you better hope Prophet can break that door down or something, bro. Unless they deal with him prior. Shoot.
I'll say this. I don't think Roman Reigns is afraid necessarily of The Undertaker. I'll give it to Roman. He can stand in there toe-to-toe with anybody. I'll say that. I don't think he's scared of the Maybe. I mean, if anybody's scared of...
How we moving?
Well, but I'm saying he's not scared of Bossman, but he's cautious and he understands, and he's the ruler of the Roman Empire for a reason, Bossman. And he had to rebuild that Roman Empire because Rikishi's out. He went to the Usos to kind of get them to get their back, and the Usos, that was a big turn of events there, man. The Usos kind of shutting down Roman, saying, yo, we don't agree with what you're doing, because you talked about Bronson Reed, but a week before that, he brought in Jacob Fatu to get after Kane. You know? And the Usos didn't agree with that. The family doesn't agree with that. He's hiring these mercenaries now, Jacob Fatu, Bronson Reed. He's like, dude, we don't know what you're doing here, man. We're not going to align with you here. Like, if you're going to align with these guys, we don't want to be part of this. I'm sure they love still Roman Reigns and their family, but the Usos kind of checked themselves out of that. So yeah, that left Roman no. Like, hey, you know what? I got to rebuild this empire. And he basically said, screw the family, screw the bloodline. They turned on me at SummerSlam. They've turned on me. He said what he said about The Rock, and he's just, and now against the Undertaker, you can't go in there. I'll put it this way: every ruler of an empire, boss man, has an army around him, has people around him to protect him, right? And that's what Roman Reigns is doing here. He's just rebuilding the Roman Empire, man. But I don't know. After what he did to the Undertaker, that's still in the Undertaker's mind. It took him a while to get to it. He went to the Usos, went to Rikishi, had to, get himself back 100%. The Undertaker looks like he's 100%. The Undertaker looks like he's out for revenge, but he's not out of control, right? And that's dangerous, boss man. That's dangerous, man. I think the Undertaker, I love Roman Reigns. I love him rebuilding the empire. He's been a great WWE champion here, but I don't know. Hell in a Cell against the Undertaker. Oof.
Undertaker might mess around and gut Roman Reigns live on pay-per-view. Like, I'm sorry, but he might absolutely gut this man. And it is going to be, that's going to be tough to watch. If Roman walks in here, acting like he can go toe-to-toe. He's going to bring the fight to the Undertaker. I'm not disputing that part at all. But if he slips up for just one moment in this matchup, that is going to be Roman's tail quickly if he ain't careful. So, Roman, I've been saying for the past 5 weeks, since Saturday's Night Main Event, I'll say, TikTok. But hopefully you can stop the clock before it strikes midnight on you and the final piece of the Roman Empire. Because once Roman's out the picture, I think Jacob's about to be next. And if the Usos are even still standing, they probably might get the job done. They probably might even, Kane and Undertaker probably might go back and finish the job, for all we know.
That's one person you don't want to make
Roman Empire could die tonight. Roman Empire could die tonight.
That's yeah, man. The Undertaker's not somebody you want to make an enemy of. I would say everything that you said and I just said, the Undertaker, I think, is the favorite here. Maybe even the odds-on favorite. Big-time favorite here to defeat Roman Reigns. I'll ask you one last question. What would it take for the Undertaker then to lose this match?
I can think of very
because I think it's his to lose.
I can think of very few situations in which Undertaker could theoretically lose this match. Now, I will say, if Roman Reigns walked into Hell in a Cell, knowing the viciousness that he's gonna have to bring, knowing the level of violence he's gonna have to bring, and if he can somehow survive any initial onslaught, any initial barrage that Undertaker's gonna throw at him for sure. But the scary thing about that, it's not going to be this wild, out of control throwing hand. No, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. So if he can just physically survive and hold on long enough, I think he can get a shot. And then once he gets that open, he better not let that door close at all. If he lets it close, he's done. If he lets that door close, he is finished.
I guess that's the
prove me wrong. Please prove me.
Yeah, that's the only thing to add to what you said. That's the only thing that I can see Roman being able to survive here, is just taking advantage that the Undertaker's. It's just weird to say take advantage that the Undertaker's going to methodically try to take this dude apart, like you said.
Yeah.
So in that method, if he could survive some of this beating, and he picks that moment, like you said, then yeah, maybe Roman Reigns has a chance there. But man, again, Undertaker odds-on favorite here. What a card, boss man, we got for Judgment Day. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it, boss. I am really looking forward to this pay-per-view.
It is going to be absolutely fantastic, y'all. Buckle up. Judgment Day is going to be 48 hours away.
Yeah.
Live on pay-per-view.
Don't miss it, man. Thank you all for joining us here then. Thank you, Boston, for doing this with me. Don't expect to get paid, but thank you for joining me here and chilling with me. Thank you guys all. Again, don't forget, man, Judgment Day coming in 48 hours. Any last words, boss man?
First off, if you ain't in the building, you might want to get there. If you are unable to get to the building, cop it on any streaming platform you can get it. Until then, your boss, and we will holla at you guys later.